Darkcast Network. Indie pods with a dark side.
You are listening to Castles and Cryptids, where the castles are haunted and the cryptids are cryptic as fuck. I'm Alanna.
And I'm Kelsey. And Gordo just fell off the desk into my arms.
It would have
As
been
I
great if he just went like he always does.
Well, no, I could tell he moved more this way, and then I saw the roll as it was happening, and I was like, I'm gonna put my arms under him and just catch him.
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh, what's Gordo gonna do? He knows. They have that instinct of when you are trying to, okay, let's get down to business, and and then they go for it. They're like, no.
Then he was
Cats
about to
just
scratch the
know.
carpeting on the floor. We can't have that.
Oh, yeah. We've had to install the extra, what do you call them? Mats, rugs. I was trying to say both words at once. Mugs. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. He's never scratched the carpeting in this room before, but this last 2 weeks, there's a specific spot that's probably a foot by a foot, kind of square. It's the only spot in the entire room he's trying to scratch. It's in the middle of the room. Don't know what's going on. Don't know what he did there. Don't remember him like getting a hairball or him peeing there. Nothing. So I don't know why he's trying to scratch the exact same spot all the time.
No, because our dog will do it on the landing of the stairs and then right in front of our bedroom door. And I always just, I don't know, because some places the tread isn't worn down so bad and the carpet's like, the piling is higher, right? And I'm like, maybe it's that? I don't know. That wouldn't make much sense for my hallway, though. This is pretty high traffic.
And the one day I came in and he had pulled like threads out of the carpet with his nails. There was a bunch of them that were loose, and I was like, well, buddy, now you're actually ripping up the carpet, and you can't, if you start eating those like you do your freaking hair when you find your hair around the house, like, that's not gonna be good.
Yeah, why do they want to lick their own? I'll pick out a tuft of hair and the dog will just, oh, yeah. And he's spitting it out. Like, yeah, dumbass. That was a stupid decision.
No,
I don't know.
Gordo's like trying to swallow it, and I have to like force his mouth open, pull it from his throat. Like,
oh my god,
disgusting creature.
That's
he doesn't groom
worst.
himself. It's not like I don't know why he wants to eat his hair.
No, and the instinct is there. That reminds me of when we were at Mom's last time, and the little orange cat, Tiger, was like, oh, some free yarn. Let me just start eating that. And like I don't know if it was like a clipping of yarn or whatever, but we had to work fast and grab his little mouth open and pull it out, because I was like, no, you cannot swallow that, dude. That'll fuck up your intestines like hardcore.
For sure.
Why are you trying to kill yourself? Jesus.
Yeah, stop eating things you shouldn't. Don't develop pica. Like,
I mean, yeah, and sometimes it's not so much your fault. It's like when we used to make kids' toys that they were like, oh, those magnetic balls. Turns out those were a problem because kids kept swallowing them and they get stuck in their intestines.
yeah.
It's like, same problem.
Yeah, it's
Or
scary. I've heard about that.
Or they're like, lawn darts don't exist anymore. And you're like, yeah, that's probably good.
That one makes me laugh.
We never had those, but we did have those big moon shoes that had the giant elastic bands in the shoes so that your feet were like kind of, I don't know, wobbling on the bands, and they were like hardcore elastic rubber bands. So,
that sounds crazy. I've never even heard about that.
Yeah, it was like really early 90s. I don't know.
That sounds fun.
I was like, did we use them in a spitball war in one of our houses? I hope not. I think back on those things now, and you're like, oh, glad we all still have our eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe
Oh
a
my
few
god.
more kids need to accidentally
No.
die
Say
or
it.
injure themselves. Learn consequences for their actions nowadays.
Oh yeah, no, it's the pendulum swings both ways, and then you
Yeah.
get the helicopter parents, and oh, now I'm like, wow, I'm gonna make sure you're not too sheltered, kid.
Yeah, right.
You grew up and then you had COVID hit you when you're supposed to be like,
I
blossoming like a
know.
butterfly.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
really just like changed everything. I feel so bad.
I mean, in some ways, thank God for the internet, because like you can connect with people, even if you don't have
Yeah.
all that many close friends in your area. So yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few people I don't know if they still work at my work now, but that were like, "Oh yeah, we didn't even get to have our graduation or anything like
Aw.
that." Like I can't imagine not being allowed to do graduation or do like they call
With
it
all your
prom in the
friends.
US or like your graduation like dance and ceremony and all that kind of stuff. I can't imagine missing out on that. Like that's such a big thing in your life and like
Yeah, it was something that I was really like looking forward to for Rain, and I thought she would be too, but then it turns out she was, and maybe COVID had something to do with it, right? I mean, there was definitely a portion when she was going to school online and stuff, and doesn't help you
yeah.
make a lot of like friends in your school and stuff. And so she was just like, I really don't even want to like go, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's tough because then you have
Mm,
to like let them be an adult too. Oh, I don't know. But I also
yeah.
was like, I missed my grad because I was like off by a couple credits, and then like graduated like half a year later, technically, or something. And I was like, you're gonna regret it. Like here I am being like the when I was your age and feeling like such a mom, being like, oh,
Back
you
in
know.
my day.
Well, and the way that she was just like, anyway, it was like, oh, the grad tickets are all gone. And I was like, oh, you were just not gonna tell us, or
Jeez.
anyway, kids. Kids will be adults, I guess. Little crazy adults.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, my kid's turning 18. I don't know, that makes me feel some type of way. I gotta say.
I still can't believe it because I met her when
I
she was
know.
9. So I'm just like, in my head sometimes, she's still a 9-year-old.
A little person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like
It's like,
nowadays they're not always ready to fly the coop. Whereas at her age, I had already been like kind of living a bit on my own, with a boyfriend or two or whatever. Like I was never at home.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's totally different, but
I
that's
mean,
okay.
I didn't really have that, but I moved out. I probably wouldn't have moved out the same time if I didn't have this house lined up that we were working on, but like I moved out at 19 and then all that
Right. It's like you
stuff
can
and
probably do it
changed
now if you got
cities, like
roommates.
moved to
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
I
big
moved out with
thing.
a roommate for the first year and then we
Mhm.
moved to a different city and like starting a totally different job and
Yeah, that's scary.
learning all those kind of things and being responsible for your car and groceries
No.
and cooking and cleaning and yard work and everything.
I'm still learning about the
Um
car. No.
yeah, same.
Yeah, little bits at a time. Oh, anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
Don't mean to digress. I'm, have,
Uh
I'm a melancholy Monday
oh,
today. No. Just kidding.
are you Garfield? Do you hate Mondays? Do you like
I don't
lasagna?
know. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna go record. Like, just not like pumped up or anything. I'm just like, it's fine. We gotta do it. But that's okay. I'm happy because like I was telling you, have much Mr. Pinks in the fridge, so
Yeah,
makes me feel
very
like it's
much, Mr.
summertime.
Pinks.
Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah, got my honey beer, and I'm golden. No. Oh my god. Um, yeah, no. It's good to have pets and kids and things to look forward to. So hopefully, yes, we do go do some markets and some things. And hopefully you
Yes.
guys are having
So
fun doing whatever
exciting.
you're doing. Yeah.
I love the summertime, summer activities. Ugh, love
So
it.
good. Yeah, it's because we don't get it for very long. Yeah.
No, my work is filled with Halloween stuff and pumpkins already. I was like, are you kidding me? Get this out of my sight.
That's the only
We're
time
selling.
you'll be mad to see Halloween too early is because you're
It's
like,
2 days.
so warm. Yeah.
It's 2 days after kids get out of school and we start putting back to school stuff up in the store. Back to school,
The
get your kids'
cycle,
lunch bag, get
the
backpacks, get
cycle
new
of
shoes.
capitalism. It's real.
I
It's
was
so
like,
real.
oh damn.
No,
So
it's time to just
funny.
like sit outside and read a fucking book for ages. And that's what
Yes.
I'm
Go
doing.
touch grass.
I did.
I love
And I
that.
plant. I know.
I touched grass.
Touched grass. I mowed some grass. I touched some weeds on the weekend.
Ugh,
Maybe something's
the worst.
growing. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, who out there has a green thumb besides my brother? How do you make your flowers bloom? What should I do? Why isn't my lilac blooming? I've looked up the things because maybe they're just too young yet. I don't know.
Oh. I don't know if they're the same as like orchids. They love humidity. That's the only time I've managed to get my orchids to bloom is like having a little humidifier on them for like an hour or so every day.
Oh yeah, those
Yeah.
are tough in not yeah not tough to grow indoor plants. Yeah, we have like a lilac bush.
Yeah.
It's coming. Maybe I weeded some stuff. We'll see. Maybe we'll prune it.
Yeah. My lilac bush got taken over by stupid like weedy kind of trees that are just growing now and it's like
Apparently they
as
like
tall as my house already this summer. I'm like I got to cut this shit down or yeah, like these spindly little stupid trees. I don't know where they came from.
yeah, I feel like pruning's important. And I was also sitting outside reading, and then my neighbor was doing something, and I was like, "Oh yeah, they're using a tool or whatever." And then I just hear like crash, and I was like, "Oh, he's full on like pruning the shit out of like he just like took a branch off his tree." And he has
Oh
a lot of
wow.
like nice, he's got a nice cherry tree in the back and stuff, but like keeps it well pruned, I would say. It's not
Yeah.
hanging over into
They
our
need to
yard
get
or
better at it.
yeah, it's weird. You have to like know what each plant likes, and I don't always have time for
Well, these
that.
ones I'm trying to kill, so I'm just gonna hack them apart.
It's like
Give me
what
a
you said about
chainsaw.
that rhubarb. It really just keeps coming back. It's like the Terminator.
Oh yeah. I threw cement blocks on that thing and it still wouldn't die. The cement sidewalk blocks choked it out for a whole year and it grew in between them. I don't know.
You tried to first degree murder that.
I did. I
and, it's,
curb stomped it. I just
and
like
it comes back.
would
I
take
am
my
Groot.
heel. Yeah, I would take my heel and I would jump up and down on it and I would basically pulverize all the rhubarb and
Oh
everything
my god.
to ground level and yeah, still
Salt
comes
the earth?
back.
No.
Yeah. I can always my default or my backup plan is always what my dad said, pour gasoline on it.
Fuck.
And it's fine. It'll kill it.
I didn't
Yeah,
expect
gasoline will kill basically anything, any plant. Just pour gasoline on it.
that. Damn.
Yeah. They don't like that, I guess.
We've gone full John Wick on this situation. Okay.
Right? I'm just gonna be pouring gasoline in my yard. My neighbors will love that.
Yeah.
What's she
Oh
doing up there with a jerry can, watering her plants with gasoline?
quench my thirst with gasoline. You're just playing Metallica. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire. Oh my god.
Anyway,
Right. Hope you guys liked
this
our
episode's
late.
gonna be 7 hours long.
No, unless we go on a lot of tangents, because my content is quite short.
Ooh, lovely. Mine's not too bad.
We say bad like
About
it's gonna
five and
be
a half
like
pages.
a university lecture.
Oh yeah, it is. Buckle
Get your
up.
coffees,
There's
people.
gonna be a quiz at the end that's worth 99.9% of your grade.
As long as it's interesting and your voice doesn't turn into the wah 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 wah, I'll be good.
Whatever it does on Charlie Brown.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. What are we?
No,
I
this
guess we're
one
talking about
pretty
some.
cool.
Yeah, we're talking about some different stuff
Vampires.
today.
Some
Yes.
vampires.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I titled it. I did. I like the spelling with
Yeah.
the Y. It relates to my case, and we're doing some more stories this time. Last time, I think we kind of did some general lore, and so I'm gonna dive into
these
some
are
more specific
a little more
tales.
Yeah. This is one I ran across, I think, when we did that vampire episode, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna save some of these and look them up again. So cool to
Yes.
get to revisit. And always nice when you have stuff picked out that you can cover and be like, which one do I want to cover? I've already done.
Yeah, some stuff you're just like you want to cover it all, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, this one has quite a bit going on. It's the Arnold's, I want to say like Paole, but I don't know if that's right. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
There's a bunch of different spellings when you look at different things.
Oh.
There's stuff saying that his name was listed as Arnaud. So like Arnold missing the L, and then there was one that was like totally different that I guess I didn't write down here.
Oh, okay. That makes it
and it's
tougher to nail down a pronunciation sometimes. There's different spellings and stuff.
It's also a very old case.
So it's Hey Arnold. No.
Hey Arnold. So I'm pretty sure it takes place in the Serbian village of Medvegna, near Belgrade. So that, I guess, village doesn't exist anymore because there's some stuff they're saying like, oh yeah, this city or town became this one and this one became this one, or this one we have a bunch of references to the name of, but we don't know what city or town it actually for sure became.
Yeah.
So that it's all over the place. So I was like, oh, thanks. I have heard Belgrade before, but
right. Yeah, a lot of the little villages seem to get absorbed up into bigger places or change names. Yeah.
So they had a little bit of background in one of the sources, which I kind of liked. This kind of explains what was going on in Austria at the time. This is from vocal.media. And it said Austria, which was seeking economic development. I think they mean like economic independence. They recruited militiamen known as the Hajduks to protect the borders and serve in the military during war times. In exchange for border protection and military service, they were promised unalienable lots of land. So they would get like land as compensation for their service. And many answered the call and joined or formed communities to claim their new land, including a Hajduk named Arnold Paole. So that's where our character comes in.
And when was this
so
again?
he was like
Or did you say?
This is, I haven't said yet, but this is, I don't know when he was born or exactly when the story starts.
That's
but
fair.
the main things start happening in 1727. A long, long time ago.
Okay, damn. Yeah, yeah. All right.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
quite old. Yeah. So he returns home from that military service, and he's supposed to have like a piece of land that he gets and
All right.
everything. And after he's returned home, he starts telling everyone that he had an encounter with a vampire while he was stationed in I think this is Gosawa, which is possibly modern day Kosovo. Kosovo.
Kosovo.
Yeah,
Kosovo. Yep. Yep.
Kosovo.
Yeah, I think Pat was
Possibly.
over
We don't
there
know
in
for
the.
sure.
Oh, okay, that's where Pat like did his
Yeah.
tour in like that general area in Kosovo and stuff in like the
Okay.
90s. Yeah, because it's that Serbian war that I don't know
Yeah.
much about at all. But he's like been to like Sofia, Bulgaria and like places like that. And I was like, oh, okay, I
Yeah.
recognize when you said Kosovo, or I've heard it pronounced Kosovo or Kosovo, both. So I'm not sure. But
Yeah.
yeah, okay, that's interesting. Mine
Yeah,
goes
so he
into that
returns.
region.
Okay. Yeah, he
Why so many
returns home
vampires?
saying he's been bitten there. And
Okay.
yeah, he got saying he was bitten while serving as a soldier, and that this is what so there's later accounts that get published in this kind of report. So I have a
Hmm.
lot of little snippets from the report um,
Oh, cool.
that was published. So this is what they said about how he described his time, I guess, saying that he had, quote, eaten from the earth of the vampire's grave and had smeared himself with the blood of the vampire in order to be free
Oh.
of the vexation he had suffered. So he was trying to like rid himself of turning into a
Oh.
vampire by um, eating the grave dirt and smearing himself with the vampire's blood, which comes up quite
Oh.
often. It's a running theme in this story.
Well, what gave him that idea?
Yeah. It's kind
Okay.
of part of the lore. I want to say in this story, but this isn't, I guess. This happened. So it's
I
not
thought
really
the
a
grave
story.
dirt was
Is
part
it
of
a
the
story?
lore of like that makes you the vampire. Oh, I can't remember now. Because there was a lot about the graves and stuff when we did vampire lore from all
Yeah.
around the world. It was like, holy shit, how many ways can you not become a vampire? Cat jumps over your
I
grave.
think I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was something I said in my segment that was about turning using grave dirt and stuff
Grave
to
dirt.
make bread or
Ah.
like make food and eat that. Yeah, so people were consuming it. It was like a whole thing.
Gross.
Yeah.
What is wrong with us? Dirt is
Right.
disgusting. I'm
Things we
sorry.
don't explain. Eat dirt. I love to eat
I had a
dirt.
disgusting medicine as a child to do with my asthma, and I literally called it dirt medicine because that's how gross it was.
It didn't come in fake banana flavor. That's my brother and I's favorite flavor of
Probably.
anything. Banana.
I
Love
can't
it.
remember. It probably tasted like fake banana over dirt or one of those horrible fake fruit flavors, you know? It's just it can't mask the disgustingness.
Yeah.
A lot of them you have steroids when you have asthma. So much fun. No. Yeah.
Um
Gross.
yeah. So
So
that's
gritty too. Like,
happening
ugh, ugh, sorry.
yeah, around 1927. So he returns home, starts telling people he did this, and not
Okay.
long after he returns home, sadly, he dies after he breaks his neck. He fell off of a hay wagon and broke his neck.
Oh,
But
okay.
this wouldn't be the end of his story. This wouldn't be the end. This is just it's the beginning.
I'm already suspicious now. How did he fall off that hay wagon? What the hay?
Yeah, there's no more details about that.
Yeah, okay. Just typical death in the 1700s then, probably.
I guess so. All it took was falling off a hay wagon. You're done. Break a
I
hip, you're
mean,
done. You're dead.
yeah, hit your head wrong, yeah, I suppose.
So that brings us to the attacks that start happening after
Ooh.
Mr. Pole's death. Over the
Attacks.
next month
Okay.
or so, local villagers accuse Pole of harassing them and also being responsible for at least 4 deaths. But he's dead.
Okay.
And they say that they're
Like,
seeing him. He's harassing them and
oh,
everything, but he's supposedly dead. Gordo.
what the shit?
So as a
Does he have...
result of all these accusations,
Okay. Sorry.
Gordo, can you just go away? Can you just leave? I don't want to do this tonight. Go. As a result of all these accusations, Pole's remains are dug up. Are you scratching on your post?
Oh.
Pole's remains are dug up. This is about 40 days after his death, and his remains are examined for signs of vampirism.
Because they'll know it when they see it. Just like witches. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, they do remark on some unusual characteristics of a 40-day-old corpse, I guess.
They think they're such experts back then. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that does play into it as well. Yeah, for sure. They're so scientific.
Science. They didn't have that word. No, I don't know.
Science rules. Bill Nye the Science Guy. Bill.
Nye. What a treasure.
So cute. Him and his little bow ties. So, yeah, the publication I'll be referencing quite a bit, and I have more about it later, is called the Repertum. It's like Repertum. It's got like, I think that just basically means report, because it has like a longer name, but that's just their shortened name. They remarked that Pole was, quote, quite complete and undecayed, and that fresh blood had flowed from his eyes, nose, mouth, and ears, that the shirt, the covering, and the coffin were completely bloody, and that the old nails on his hands and feet, along with the skin, had fallen off, and that new ones had grown. So, it's a little weird.
That's a lot. Everything's bloody. The coffin.
Everything's bloody, and then like everything that you'd expect to have like kind of appeared old, like the hands, the feet, the fingernails, they didn't. They look like they had grown new, like, and
fallen off first and then grown new, if I recall what you said correctly. That's and then I'm like, I'm assuming just the inside of the coffin full of blood, because I mean,
I think so, yeah.
If it's on the outside, now I'm really impressed. No, but that's still, it's still quite a lot of blood for a dead body.
Yeah, for sure. A stake, after the remains were dug up, a stake, or I guess an examination was done, a stake was driven through Pole's heart, and they noted that he gave, quote, an audible groan and bled copiously. So that was also concerning. I mean, yeah.
Blood should not be still.
Yeah, after 40 days. Like, it should not. It should be, like, coagulated, and they noted that none of his blood had coagulated in any way.
Right? Yeah, because even if there weren't full embalming techniques at that point, I mean, they kind of started to get some of them, I know, in the 1800s, because I read that cool Undertaker series with the lady, but, like, full on blood. That's, that ain't right. That ain't right.
Yeah, so his body was then decapitated. So it was staked,
Oh,
decapitated, and then his remains were burned to ashes. And I
okay.
think he was reburied, or we get
The
into it later. A lot
ashes?
of people get, yeah, some people's ashes get reburied, and then some people get dumped in rivers. So
Excuse me.
I don't really know for sure what happened to his.
Damn. They really went for it.
Oh yeah,
If
there's
you're gonna burn
a
it,
lot more to
like,
come.
yeah, do you need to cut off his head? You know he's already.
Oh yeah, they stake him, they cut off his head, they do all the vampire
They need
cliches.
Dean and Sam. You just need to
They made him eat garlic. No, I don't know.
burn most of the things. Ugh.
So this was another thing from Vocal Media saying the villagers reported deaths. So those 4 deaths he had been accused of, they reported these to the Austrian military commander in charge of the administration of the area, and fearing that a possible epidemic was happening, they sent for an infectious disease specialist named Imperial Contagions Medicus Glasser, who was already stationed at the nearby town of, oh my god, Parasin, I want to say. Glasser visited the town and investigated, but failed to find any signs of infectious diseases and blamed malnutrition. Because again, like, this war is happening, so people were quite malnutrition or suffering
Nourished.
malnutrition and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But it still seemed a little unusual.
Right.
The villagers didn't agree with this and insisted that malnutrition wasn't the cause, but vampires were. And some even were threatening to abandon the village and leave for their own safety unless the authorities found and disposed of all the vampires that were plaguing them.
Damn.
So,
The people be like,
yeah.
we going.
Yeah.
Get rid of the
I'm out.
vampires or we really riot.
Yeah. The villagers believed that Paole had, when he had, like, before he had died, I guess,
Yeah.
that he had fed upon the cattle, the local cattle, and that
Oh.
as a result of consuming the meat of these cattle, because they're during a war, they don't want to waste the meat. So when the animals had been fed on or like injured or anything, they were still eating the meat. So they then at this point started believing that anybody that had consumed the meat of the cattle were also now infected and in danger of becoming vampires.
Oh,
So that really
well.
spread through the area as well. So by this point, as far as I could piece together, it seemed like the 4 people he had been accused of killing, some of them may have eaten the cattle meat or not, but at this point, the 4 people had died, and their bodies were then exhumed, staked, and burned as well. So
Just to be thorough.
it's
Okay.
kind of, yeah, it's now kind of not just him, it keeps going. So at least after they did that, it seemed to stop for a little while, about 5 years before the next plague hits them.
5 years.
This one a lot more severe, with what's going on.
Well, that just
Yeah, this
throws
one
my
was so
mad cow
fascinating.
disease theory right out the window.
Right?
I
This
don't
one
know.
was so fascinating to me. I was like, oh, I'm so happy I got to cover this. It's like crazy.
Yeah, I don't get this like dormant period.
Yeah, 5 years. Leading us to 1731, leading into like 1732, when mysterious deaths start up again. Within 3 months this time, 17 people aged 10 to up to 70 are the victims. They all end up dying. They had all had previously been relatively healthy, and most had died of a result of some sort of illness after only being sick for between 2 and 3 days.
Okay.
So
I mean,
quite sudden, but I mean,
yeah.
it's still 1731, so
Yeah, it still sounds like a contagious sickness, which they tend to do
Yeah.
when they're like this. But okay.
Yeah. Some were, when they started becoming ill, they were kind of revealing that 5 years ago, they had eaten some of the meat from what they were calling like Pole's cattle attacks 5 years earlier. So, like, some were
What?
tying it back to
Okay.
that. Um, but it kind of goes beyond that because word of these strange, they were calling them vampire deaths, reached Vienna. And on December 12th, 1731, the Austrian emperor ordered an inquiry into the deaths that would be carried out by a regimental field surgeon. Oh my god, Johannes uh, Fluckiner.
Nice.
I'm like Fleckinger. Fleckinger. It looks like if you said fuckinger, but it has an L. Fleckinger.
Oh,
So
yeah,
he's
it
a
depends.
field surgeon in the
Okay.
military. So he's got to
Okay.
have some level of authority and knowledge about anatomy that was probably pretty substantial at the time, um,
One
to
would
be
hope.
a field surgeon with the military. So he's got to be somewhat qualified, like the
Claire
human
might beg to
body used
differ.
to dealing with it. Maybe, yeah.
You
I
call
mean,
yourself a
anybody going
doctor,
back in
man.
time.
Yeah.
So he later is the one that authored the report, that's Visum et Repertum, which is translated to seen
Ah.
and discovered.
Okay.
And he, yeah, during his visit to the town, he was accompanied by two officers in the military and then two other military surgeons. So keep in mind, a lot of the stuff I have that I'm quoting later on is written by three surgeons and two military officers, and they swore by it and signed government documents saying this is what they saw, which is quite
Okay.
interesting because you can read that report still. It's like a published book. You can read it,
Oh.
which I find fascinating. And it's like all these autopsies in it of vampires.
A whole book? I'd read it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. So a little bit kind of synopsis of what you'll find in it. It stated that all of the recently deceased locals, which ended up being 40 in all, were exhumed and examined for signs of being a vampire. And the highly detailed results were published in that book. And some of the
Wow.
recently deceased were in far more advanced stages of decomposition than those who had been dead for much longer. So out of the 40 remains, like, some people that had been dead for maybe only a couple weeks were kind of at a more normal stage of decomposition than people that had been dead for a month or two looked fresh. Like, it was all over the
Mm,
place with when people were dying.
it's kind of weird.
So yeah, they noticed that because they were examining all 40 of these bodies.
It's
In
a
total,
lot.
17. It is a lot. Um,
Damn.
yeah, in total, 17 of the bodies were described to be in a similar condition to Pole's. Keeping in mind that they didn't actually examine Pole's body because that was 5 years earlier. They were just going
Yeah.
based off what somebody else said, but um, they do note down what they identified in each of the bodies, with the rest showing more normal signs of decomposition. It might come up if you search them, but I guess they're called the 17 Medvega vampires. That's what they're kind of called, I guess. That's the
I
town
love
name.
that there's
Um,
17 in the name. It's awesome.
yeah. Once they were identified, they were all then decapitated, burned, and their ashes were dumped into the river. which I bet was great
Ooh.
for sanitation reasons. Love
Do
that.
better.
Yeah. The bodies that were described to be in a more like normal states of decomposition were laid back to rest in their original graves. And after this other round of inquiries and everything, all the mysterious deaths stopped again, and seemed like they stayed stopped. So all we have is kind of like these records of what these surgeons saw when they were doing the examinations, which is kind of crazy. I have a bunch of them. They have like
So like the second time, was there not so many stories of the dead guy or whatever? Wasn't there sightings of him the first time or something?
Yeah, the first time they said like he was harassing people and everything.
Yeah.
And that he was responsible for the deaths of 4 people. This time, it out of the 17 people, quite a number of them said that they had eaten some of the meat, like from his supposed kills 5 years earlier.
Right.
So some of them do tie back to him. Still, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do have. Hold on. Yeah, they stopped. Now I'm here. So that Fluckinger wrote up his findings in that official government report.
What'd you call me?
And it was all an account. Right? It's got that little U with the 2 dots on it too, and I'm just like, I don't even know.
I think that's an umlaut. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm so sorry. I'm an uncultured heathen.
That Germish. Just kidding. That's what Rain used to call German. Sorry.
So they wrote up his findings in this official government report, and its account of all their discoveries, and it was published. It went on to become a bestseller, and by March of 1732, because of it, the accounts of the vampire activity was spreading throughout England and France, like going over all over, and even like I guess now, due to the reports, like in-depth documentation by these field surgeons and stuff, its writing kind of became the center for a lot of future studies and cemented a lot of people's views on vampires and stuff, which was kind of cool.
And what do you
like
think
it's
they
an
called
official
it?
government document.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, was it a New York Times bestseller? It was barely a New York, but that's what they call them all now.
Yeah, it said it became a bestseller, but I don't know where that was listed, but it must have been quite popular. So I did actually like find excerpts from it that were full excerpts apparently.
Lucky.
Which was kind of cool. These are a lot of the descriptions of kind of the 17. I think there's 13 in here, which is kind of cool. It tells you like the story, a little bit of each one. One of them was the Hajduk or Hajduk Jawiza reported that his stepdaughter, so he's another soldier, he reported that his stepdaughter, who was named Stanica, she had laid down to sleep 15 days ago, fresh and healthy, but at midnight she had started up out of her sleep with a terrible cry, fearful and trembling, and complained that she had been throttled by the son of a Hajduk by the name of Milo, who had died 9 weeks earlier, whereupon she had experienced a great pain in the chest and became worse hour by hour until finally she died on the 3rd day. So I don't think she was part of the 17, but she's one of the soldiers' stepdaughters that became quite sick and said that she witnessed one of the people that had died before her, like, come into her room and was attacking her. right before she died.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, right.
No, you're not gonna like it when it comes up again in mine.
Oh no.
Oh no.
So the first one, this is a woman by the name of Stana. She's 20 years old, who had died in childbirth 2 months ago. Again, this is all from the book. After a 3-day illness, and who had herself said before her death that she had painted herself with the blood of a vampire. Wherefore
what?
both she and her child... yeah. Because they
So
thought it
there's
would
an
protect
illness,
them.
she's in childbirth, and painting herself with the blood before she dies. That's a lot going on there. That's a weird one.
Yeah. Because,
I mean, childbirth alone is enough to take
bloody...
you out. Like, what?
Yeah.
Sounds like satanic panic. No. Sorry.
Painted herself with the blood of a vampire, wherefore both she and her child, which had died right after birth, and because of a careless burial had been half eaten by the dogs, must also become vampires. She was quite complete and undecayed, and after the opening of the body, there was found in the cavity pectoris a quantity of fresh extravascular blood, the vasa of the artery and venae, like the ventriculus cordis. There's so, oh my god, I don't want to say all the medical terms. Were not, as is usual, filled with coagulated blood, and the whole viscera, that is, like the stomach and intestines and everything, were quite fresh, as they would be in a healthy person. They noted that the uterus was, however, quite enlarged and very inflamed externally, for the placenta and such had remained in place, and wherefore the same was incomplete. I don't know what that means. The skin on her hands and feet, along with the old nails, had fallen away on their own, but on the other hand, completely new nails were evident, along with a fresh and vivid skin. So, like, they were saying, like, one hand, everything fell off, and the other one looked completely undecayed and, like, fresh, which I think is creepy.
And that she hadn't passed her placenta, and that her womb was swollen, which would probably be a symptom, because you have to pass the placenta. You can't just leave it in there. Which leads me to believe this is, more to do with the childbirth than anything. But that's my skeptical, logical mind. Yeah.
Yeah. But she wasn't decomposing properly. Only a couple of these are long. Most of these other ones are, like, much shorter.
They're written by Dr. House.
Yeah. I gave them a slap on the wrist and a prescription for a placebo and sent them home.
Yeah, that's what they all need.
The second one says there was a woman by the name of Melissa, who was 60 years old, who had died after a 3-month sickness, and she had been buried 90 some days earlier, so like 3 months before.
Right.
They found in her chest much liquid blood was found.
Ew.
So it wasn't coagulated or anything.
Much
and
liquid
the other
blood.
viscera. Yeah, I was like, I love this old-timey 1700s speak. My favorite to read out loud.
Well, yeah, that part was less than medical, unlike the previous, which sounded a little bit more like textbook or whatever.
Yeah, like those mentioned before, her viscera were in good condition during her dissection. All the hajduks, or soldiers who were standing around, marveled greatly at, this sounds so bad, at her plumpness and perfect body, uniformly stating that they had known the woman well, and from even a very young age, from her youth, she had throughout her life looked and been very lean and dried up. Like, because she's
What?
60 years old, they said her entire life she had been very thin and everything, and now that she had died, she was quite plump. I don't know. That just sounds like bloating. But I mean, I don't know how long that
It's
lasts,
just
because this is 3 months
yeah,
later
yeah. No, I get
after
what they're
she's
trying to
buried.
say. I just don't love the
Yeah.
verbiage, which is like lean and dried up. You're like, before she
Yeah.
died? Oh, okay.
The
Thanks.
reason?
It's called
Yeah.
menopause, bitch. There's some dryness that happens. No.
Okay.
Just like, ouch. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Um, yeah, I don't know how long like bloating and that kind of stuff would happen after you die. This is like
Right.
3 months later, so I don't know what time that would
Mm,
pass.
I think it would
Um,
depend on the environment entirely, although that does seem like a long time
yeah,
regardless, so I don't know. Yeah.
yeah. But they all emphasized that she had come to this surprising plumpness in the grave. What a statement to have to read out loud. Uh,
Yeah. They don't know the word bloat, I guess.
yeah. They also said that it was she who started the vampires this time because she had eaten
Mm.
of the flesh of those sheep that had been killed by the previous vampires. So I think that's part of
She's
Pole's ones he had supposedly attacked.
she's queen of the damned.
Um yeah, I guess she started it this time. There was so the next one, because some of these are only little things. There
Yeah.
was an 8-day old child, so like just a newborn, uh,
Oh.
who had been laying in a grave for 90 days, again, about 3 months, who was similarly in a condition of a vampire. Um,
Oh.
yeah, there was
So
another,
it died as an infant. That sucks.
yeah,
Sorry.
8 days old. Yeah.
That's
Um,
shitty.
yeah, the next one is the son of another soldier. He was 16 years old. He was dug up, and he had been in the earth for 9 weeks. He had died from a 3-day illness and was found like the other vampires. Some of these don't have much information.
He
The
was found
fifth
looking like Tom
one
Cruise.
with a terrible wig.
Oh, I was gonna say, don't get Pat started because he'll argue he does not look like Lestat. Oh. We're reading the Mayfair Witches, and let me tell you, it's a 1,000-page book,
Okay.
and I don't know how long it's gonna take me to read that out loud to him, like
17 years.
every other day, every 3 days or whatever, in the bath until he falls asleep. Yeah, it's taking us a while.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
There's a good like the show is good. Like there's a show version now with that Alexandria Daddario. Yeah, it's pretty good. So
Yeah, I heard it was pretty good.
that's keeping me going. It's like, yeah,
I
we can read the book and then watch the show. Yeah.
It's like me, I finally found downloads for the at least the first 6 episodes of the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. So happy.
Cool.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
so I have 5 episodes out of 6. And they did
oh, that's
really good.
awesome.
I have to say.
Ah.
The um a lot of the dialogue and everything, the scenes are pulled straight from the
Aw.
book, like 100%. I don't know how they could have made it more book
From the
accurate.
first
Keeping
book?
all of keeping all of the cringy dialogue that makes you laugh sometimes. You're just like, oh,
Aw.
even the author was like, oh yeah, she's like,
Yeah.
I never wrote these books intending these things to be said out loud, and watching them say them out loud sometimes does make you laugh. It's like, yeah, some of this is pretty
She's like, I'm
cringy.
surprisingly funny. Yeah. It translates to screen. Oh, it's like nice though when the
Yeah, but they
first
did.
like season correlates so
Yeah.
nicely with like a first book or whatever. You're like, yes,
Oh,
don't change it.
I've never watched anything where you're just like, oh yeah, I could
Yeah.
like flip to the page and I could follow along like this is the script. Like
Oh,
it's
really? Yeah.
verbatim. And
Oh,
you're
that's
just like,
good.
oh, and they added little things in, and yeah, it's been pretty good.
I mean, I think,
Yeah.
yeah, especially if you can get like at least some scenes that are like exactly the same as in the book, that makes book readers really happy. Like
Oh,
they
I'd
did it.
say 80% of it
Yeah.
is like taken directly from the book. I
I
think
feel
they
like
did
they
a
did
pretty
it
good
well in
job.
like the first seasons of some things like Game of Thrones, Outlander, etc., where like the first
Yeah.
couple seasons you're like, no, they did pretty good sticking to it. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Good to hear.
Yeah.
I know you wanted
Yeah,
to
all the
watch
biggest
that.
moments you'd be like, "Oh yeah." Like, "Oh yeah, that person said that. Oh yeah, that one always makes me laugh." Mhm. It was like a
I
checklist. Are they
know.
going to do this line? Are they going to do this line? Yeah, they did them all. It's like, yeah.
Nice.
Uh yeah, enjoying it. No, I'm keep waiting to see if I can get the last episode cuz it's only 6 episodes this season.
Okay.
So, I got 5 of them so far and they were pretty good.
Maybe they'll put it on like Prime or something. Yeah, and then I can check it out.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's already piloted for or greenlit for a second season, and they're
Ooh.
I think working on casting for. They got to cast like another probably at least 10 main characters for the second book. There's a lot of people that get introduced suddenly.
That can be nice, but also a lot. I'm not saying it is in their
Yeah.
book. I'm just reading a book right now that has a big cast of characters and is a little complicated. But
Yeah. Um
cool,
okay,
cool.
where was I? Okay, I
Sorry.
did number 5. Number 6 was a woman by the name of Russia or Rusha.
Ooh.
She had died after a 10-day illness and had been buried for 6 weeks. They found fresh blood not only in the chest, but also, I don't know where this is, also in fundo ventriculi.
Huh.
Ventriculi. That normally the ventricles is like your heart, isn't it?
Heart related, I would
So
say, yeah.
fundo ventriculi. I don't know what fundo is. Fundo. Fundo.
Ooh. Ones that go into the lungs, maybe? No, I don't know. I'm not sure. I've not heard that.
Oh, this says the same showed itself in her child who was 18 days old and had died 5 weeks previously. So another child
Also, they still
too.
didn't know a lot then. Keep in mind the germ theory was not even
Yeah.
quite there yet. I
Yeah.
mean, I think they knew some stuff about anatomy. I'm not saying they didn't, but okay. Interesting.
The 7th one said no less did a girl 10 years of age who had died 2 months previously find herself in the above mentioned condition, quite complete and undecayed, and had much fresh blood in her chest. So this sounds like some sort of, yeah, like lung something related illness that these people are like having uncoagulated blood and stuff in their bodies.
I
Something.
mean, yeah, especially if it's something to do with your heart not pumping correctly or something like that. That would make
Yeah, I don't know.
sense? Question mark. But it does seem
The
like
8th one,
they all had illnesses, right? Some sort.
yeah, like this group, everybody died of an illness. It seems
Yeah.
like,
It's interesting looking back on
yeah,
it with like a more modern medical lens, that's all. Yeah.
yeah. That's why I'm like, this is so interesting because this is like autopsies and like official government record, and they're like, there's
True.
vampires. We
Yeah.
published it.
But
There's
also we
vampires.
didn't know shit about shit back then. Still, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting for sure.
The 8th one had caused the wife of another soldier to be dug up along with her child. She had died 7 weeks previously, and her child, who was 8 weeks old, had died 21 days previously. And it was found that both mother and child were completely decomposed, although earth and grave were like those of vampires lying nearby. I have no idea what that means. That's all that one says.
Oh, because I was wondering, are they all in the same sort of grave conditions? So when they're saying in the same sort of grave as some of the other quote unquote vampires, maybe they mean buried in the same sort of like earth and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I
'Cause that could
I don't know. I
happen
think this was a pretty small place. I think I saw something that said the population would have been between like
Mm.
1,500 and less than 3,000 people. So I don't know if
Mm.
they'd even have one more than one or two cemeteries even.
That's true.
So, yeah.
It did seem like they were trying to make a point about some sort of different, like there was no difference in the grave or whatever you just said. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
got
the only one
nothing.
that talks about that, I think. Um, yeah. So the ninth one was a servant of a local corporal of the soldiers by the name of Raid, 23
Ooh.
years old, and died after a 3-month-long illness and after
Oof.
after a 5-week burial was found completely decomposed. So,
Okay.
yeah, I think they're like pointing out that like a person that was buried 5 weeks ago is completely decomposed, but somebody that's buried 3 months isn't. Like it's just
Yeah.
back and forth. Like there isn't really a consistency to
The
it.
rate of decomposition. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
in like a
definitely
similar
varying.
area and that kind of stuff.
And
The
and it's
wife of the
interesting now because like we can more efficiently approximate like time of death where we're like, oh yeah, look at this corpse
yeah,
because it's got this much um like we have better words like rigor mortis and whatnot where we're like the blood is pooling and
lividity.
yeah, it's like
Lividity.
it's probably a couple to 4 hours ago or whatever. Yeah, I love that in my crime books. Like the Will Trent
Yeah.
series. It's like he's a cop, she's a medical examiner. Oh, they're so good together. You get both sides of it. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's yeah, it's like they were trying. They were figuring some stuff out, but they just didn't know everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 10th one they have is the wife of a local bariator. Don't know what that is.
That was like
Along
one
with her
word?
child. Yeah,
Oh,
bariator. Uh,
doesn't sound familiar at
uh,
all.
along with her child, having died 5 weeks previously, were also completely decomposed.
Hmm.
11th one says with stanch, a local soldier, 60 years old, who had died 6 weeks previously. I noticed a profuse liquid blood like the others in the chest and stomach, and the entire body was in the oft named condition of vampirism. Oft
Vampire.
named.
Okay.
Vampire. He's a vampire. This is that Milo guy who
Okay.
apparently scared the other girl to death. Or scared that
Great.
girl to death. He's 25 years old, had lain for 6 weeks in the earth, was found in the condition of vampirism mentioned. Great.
Oh
Love the
gosh.
lack of details. Uh
Now they really sound like doctors or politicians.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um is this the same one? Died after 3 days. Oh, I think this might have been this is the one I mentioned, the first one. Sorry, I didn't know this one was repeated. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken it from the other source. But they spelled her name differently. This one says it's the wife of a soldier, 20 years old, died after a 3-day illness and had been buried 18 days previously. They found her in her countenance quite red and vivid of color. And as with
Oh,
mentioned
that's her
above, she
face.
had been throttled at midnight by that
Ooh,
one Milo, the son
that's
of
the
a
second
soldier.
throttled.
I think this might be the same one. They just spelled
Okay.
the name differently.
What was the name? You didn't say the name again, I don't think. Did you?
This is Stanoika, and the other one
Oh. Oh,
looks
sorry, you
like
did say it.
Stanica.
Yes, that's right. I thought
Yeah.
it's like Stanica, which I was like, okay, sounds like Danica. Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard of
Um,
this name, sort of.
yeah, this one has a bit more details though. Yeah, after being throttled, been seen on the right side under the ear a bloodshot blue mark the length of a finger. As she was being taken out of the grave, a quantity of fresh blood flowed from her nose. With the dissection I found, as mentioned often already, a regular, fragrant, fresh bleeding, not only in the chest
Ew.
cavity, but also in the ventriculo cordis. I hate the word viscera. Stop using it. All the viscera found themselves in a completely good and healthy condition.
It is gross. It gives you a
Um,
visceral response.
it does.
I
Viscera
had
gives me a visceral response.
to. I know it is kind of
The
off-putting, like moist or some of those other words. You're just like, ugh,
damp.
damp,
Um,
really? Sorry.
I think I've heard that one before that bugs people.
That's funny. Panties.
Um, oh yeah, I hate the word panties. Just say
It's not
underwear.
great.
Yeah.
It's sort of
The hypo.
infantilizing. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. Off topic.
The hypodermis of the entire body, along with the fresh nails on the hands and feet, as
Ugh,
though completely fresh.
gross.
Yeah. So this was, I think, part of their signing off, that they included in that report thing, the repertum. After
Right.
the examination had taken place, the heads of the vampires were cut off by the local gypsies, their words, and burned along with the bodies, and then the ashes were thrown into the river Morava. Uh, the decu- oh my god, the decomposed bodies, however, were laid back into their own graves, which I attest along with those in assistant medical officers provided for me. The
Oh.
undersigned attest herewith that all of the regimental medical officer of the Honorable Furstenbach Regiment had observed in the matter of vampires, along with both medical officers who had signed with him,
Oh boy.
uh, is in every way truthful and has been undertaken, observed, and examined in our own presence.
That was
Uh,
the longest sentence ever. Heretofore. Like,
yeah.
I'm dead.
And then they signed it Belgrade, January 26th, 1732. And it had like all their names, like their names, their
Okay.
rankings, and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
Um what I wanted to cover after that was kind of a little bit more I found on Vocal Media again, which was kind of cool. They
Good old
provided
vocal
such good,
media.
like,
Shout
yeah, I've
out.
never heard of it before.
You've never been so vocal.
Yeah, right? I liked their little bit about background because I didn't see that before,
Yeah.
and then they had kind of some stuff that happened after, which I thought was interesting.
Okay.
It said that the Catholic Church learned of the events and ended up getting involved due to the mutilation of bodies during these
Oh.
examinations. They didn't like this, that people were being like exhumed and uh, like given autopsies basically or examined, and all this stuff was, I mean, they were getting
Go
beheaded and
figure.
burned and thrown in rivers.
Oh, they just don't
So
like when anybody learns anything or has any
has
fun.
fun.
Boo.
So according to their beliefs, the bodies of Christians awaiting resurrection were desecrated, rendering them incapable of going to heaven. And
Oh,
at the
wow.
request of a cardinal, the Bishop of Almutz, a specialist from the Catholic Church, got involved, and this Giuseppe Dav- Davanzati,
Ooh.
Davanzati, an archbishop of the Roman Catholic Church and vampirologist. Uh,
Ooh.
Davanzati spent years analyzing the problems of vampires and concluded that it was the result of human fantasy, likely of demonic origin.
Alright.
He urged the Catholic Church to leave the bodies undisturbed and to direct their attention to the people reporting vampirism and give them spiritual guidance.
Okay.
Then we have, it says, meanwhile, Anton Augustin Clement, or Calmet, maybe, a French
Clemente? Yeah, I don't
Benedictine.
know. Depends how Italian.
He's a French Benedictine monk,
French.
known for his, oh my god, a whole bunch of French words.
No, you're probably right with
Or
Clement
whatever.
then, because then if it's French, you probably
Yeah.
wouldn't pronounce the E as Clemente at the end, like Italians do. Okay.
Yeah, a whole bunch of things. But he had written a dissertation on the apparitions of spirits and on the vampires or revenants of Hungary,
Ooh.
Moravia, and Silesia. No. This guy, he came to a very different conclusion than that first Catholic Church guy.
Okay.
He called upon scholars, theologians, and doctors to give the subject of vampires serious study and consideration, and he argued that the bodies were animated by demonic forces. Sorry, I started laughing. I didn't mean to start laughing.
No, that makes sense, but okay. Yeah.
Then the controversy kept going back and forth before it gets escalated to the Empress Maria Theresa of Austria, Marie Antoinette's mother. Ever heard of her?
Yeah.
That's why I was like, oh, I have to include this. Marie Antoinette.
Historic connection.
Yeah, so Marie Antoinette's mother then has to weigh in. She sent her personal physician, Gerard van Swieten, to investigate the various claims of vampires. That guy concluded that vampires do not exist. And then the Empress Marie Antoinette's mother passed laws that prohibited opening graves or desecrating bodies. The end.
Oh, well, that's like, you gotta do what you gotta do to get shit to stop.
Yeah.
So, like,
I was just like,
completely in favor of that. That's cool.
Yeah, I thought this one was crazy. Everybody, like, you talk about cases of, like, vampires, but very rarely is it in, like, government official documents in, like, Siberia.
Yeah. Anything
like,
cryptid, paranormal entity related rarely is. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, these are actual, like, 3 field surgeons that signed off on these investigations, and we're like, yes, this is their reports.
I know, it's the equivalent of the
Navy
Navy guys reporting on the, Tic Tac UFOs and stuff. You're like, but they're so credible. How could you ignore it? Yeah.
Yeah, for, like, the knowledge and everything they had back in the 1700s, like, this is what they saw and accounted for, and yeah, it was kind of
it's weird.
Different. I was like, oh, I'm so happy I stumbled on this one. Like, back when we were doing the vampire ones before, I was just like, oh, this one sounds crazy.
Was not expecting the historical M. Night Shyamalan twist of, and then Marie Antoinette's mother was like, no, enough, or whatever.
Yeah, I was just like, that's hilarious.
That does not come up in the, like, Philippa Gregory
vocal
books.
Media. Yeah, that vocal media website. They're the only ones that threw in Marie Antoinette's mother.
If people just would, it would make it so much more interesting, I've got to tell you, because, like, you can make a historical fiction book or whatever where it's like I just mentioned the Philippa Gregory. She wrote, like, the ones that some of them got made into the movies, like the other Boleyn girl was hers.
Okay, yeah.
And, like, the White Queen and then the White Princess got made into TV series, and I'm trying to get to the White Princess because it stars Jodie Comer. And I'm like, I read the book, I can get kind of behind it. I'm like, it kind of sucks because, like, you know, it does for most women those days, where they don't get to like marry the man
Yeah.
they love and all this stuff. But it's more told from like, yeah, the queen's point of view, the princesses, and like
Yeah.
she tends to do that more. Where like, yeah, you'll hear more. I read the one where it was like the other Boleyn girl was about her, like Anne and her sister, and how they were both used by their like royal family and father to try and like
Yeah.
entrap the king and blah blah blah. And like it's just very interesting to see the other side of it, rather than us just knowing like, oh yeah, Henry VIII like killed all his wives or whatever, you know. It's just like
Yeah.
it's so much
I
more
just never
interesting.
would have expected in my life that like
Yeah.
Marie Antoinette's mom would have to weigh in on whether or not vampires were real or not. Like, I guess
Exactly.
that's
And
like our equivalent of being like asking Obama and Trump, be like, hey, are aliens real? Like, and then be like, I'm gonna send investigators. Like, I guess they
well,
have to do it as like rulers of a country, but it just seemed so out of place. I didn't expect it. I was like, oh,
yeah,
I'm gonna send her personal physician to find out if vampires are real. Cool, cool, cool.
right. Is it more normal those days because they believed like astrology
And
was almost
crazy
as
stuff.
scientific
Yeah.
as astronomy, or was it less crazy? Ugh.
Yeah.
Sorry, when you just said that, it just like broke my mind a little bit. Because we had a there was a Canadian defense um Department of Defense like top guy of ours that literally came out and said that aliens were real, and now I can't remember who he is, but I'm like, we had that dude that was like he
Oh, yeah.
you know, like high up in the Canadian, you know, DOD or whatever. But like as soon as you say any
Yeah.
of this shit's real, people just write you off and they don't listen to you, and that's why I can't remember his name. It's like
Because it
I can
worked. No.
remember stupid Andrew Basiago because I covered him in Project whatever and Going to Mars with Obama and
Oh.
Project Pegasus or whatever. I can't remember this
I
other
can
dude.
never remember anything about anything I cover. It's like 3 days removed from doing
It's
it. I'm like,
there
no, gone. I have a vague
maybe.
remembrance of it.
Oh, see, to me, if I've heard it on another podcast before, sometimes, right? Because it'll like, you know, the more times you hear it, the more it'll
Oh, yeah,
stick.
the
Yeah,
repetition, for
yeah.
sure.
But like every
Yeah,
podcast,
well.
no, we're the same as everyone else. Where people are like, ha ha ha, you covered that, and we're like, what? I can't remember from week to week what we covered. Like it's totally a symptom of
Yeah.
podcasting. Yeah. All right.
We will
Good
take a
job.
break
Yeah.
and come
I'll
back
pause
for
this
more.
one.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
Turn your dial to find the frequency of the past.
Captain Advice.
Where the classic stories of mysteries, sci-fi, thrillers, and suspense are found waiting to be heard once again.
Another case for Nick Carter, Master Detective.
You'll find a variety of those stories here, in their original form, where each episode takes you to another place or time.
The Man of Bronze. Doc Savage.
But only when you find the mystery frequency. Available everywhere.
The shadow knows.
Well, we are back. Go listen to the lovely promo people you just heard about. Don't know who they are yet.
Somebody
but
insert name here.
Dark cast friends, baby.
Yeah.
Never met a
The
dark cast
best
crew
of
I didn't like.
indie podcasts. That's what that thing says. Darkcast Network, the best of indie podcasts.
That's right, baby. Coming over the dark side. We have all the best stories. Yeah, all the listicles. I looked up I think
Every
vampire stories old or
Yeah.
history or something. You had picked one out and you had just
Yeah.
yet to double check and tell me what the name was, and so I just said I'll go back a bit. And then it's so funny because yours was in the 1700s, which a lot of them are like old cases.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's easy to find them from history or from there are some modern ones too, which I know podcasts
Those are a
have
lot more
covered.
like true crimey than
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think you've covered one of them already, at least, where it's like, is it a vampire if someone's
Yeah.
like voluntarily asking to be cannibalized? Like, I just don't even need to get into that. That's too
Yeah,
much.
or like wanting to be a vampire and stuff. Like I don't think any
Or
of the people
believing
I
that you
covered
are one. Yeah.
wanted to be a vampire. They might have thought they were becoming a vampire, but they didn't want to be a vampire. They weren't like, "Ooh, I'm a vampire."
Yeah, it's a very sticky distinction where I'm like, same with doing too recent true crime. The further back I go, the better I feel.
Yeah, sometimes it's a
Um,
little bit safer.
Yeah, because we were just like, you ever watch stuff that's more recent? Like we were doing the Netflix documentary on some college kids that got murdered, the Idaho college ones. There's one on Netflix or whatever, and it's recent-ish, within like the last 5 or so years, so that when it came out, then like YouTubers and different people like us, true crime podcasters, whatever, people started
Yeah.
covering it, and like, but when it was an ongoing investigation and like speculating and rumors and like just
Oh, okay.
hope that we don't get into that kind of realm of things where you're like speculating on a really fresh ongoing case, and like it's different if
Those ones are really tricky because there's also not
yeah.
normally that much information about it.
You don't
Like,
want to disparage people that are, when no one's been convicted, you don't know, like they're acquaintances of someone or they're like witnesses, like you have no
yeah.
idea. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
that's for
because like
sure.
I covered that one. It was the spring break crimes a long time ago, like a couple years ago we did.
Oh yeah.
I think her name was Brittany something. She's the one that disappeared while on spring break. And then
That's
I
one
think
of
a
the
month
ones.
or
Yep.
two after I covered it, her case ended up getting solved. And when we were
But the
covering
friends
it,
got blamed. Is that
yeah, the friends
true?
and then her
Yeah.
ex-boyfriend or a club promoter or something she knew. That's who the mom was sure it was. And she went on
Okay.
like Dr. Phil and was like ripping him apart, being like, "What did you do to my
This
daughter?"
is
and all
it.
this kind of stuff.
Like
And then it
people's
came
names
out that
getting
it was a
dragged through the
totally
mud. Yeah.
yeah, and then it came out that it was a totally random guy that I can't remember if he was like a
Yes.
serial killer or not, but it was like kind of a crime of opportunity. He just saw her walking down the road.
Oh,
Because she was,
yeah.
I think, on the way back to the hotel or leaving the hotel to go meet
Yeah,
up with
isn't
them.
it
And he
in
just pulled up and
Florida?
got her to get in the car. Yeah,
Yeah.
got her to get in the car with him. And so it was like, yeah, and that got solved like a month or two only after I covered it. So I think we talked about it a few episodes later.
And I believe that's one of the cases where, not
Yeah.
naming names, not that I know if I know them, but like if you just go as a person who knows nothing like us, we're just podcasters, not like fucking
Yeah.
journalists, and you just go like, excuse me, accusing a person and like blowing up their social media, or people that
Yeah, I would
know
never do
the
that kind of
victim.
stuff.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
just like accusing them enough that maybe your fan base would go and do that. It's just like,
Yeah, I
oh
hope nobody
man.
that listens to us would start harassing anybody involved in any case.
Based on anything we
'Cause-
said, like, come on, girls, you guys know.
Yeah.
We know what you know, what the public knows, and what we can do with, our limited amount of research skills, which I'm just saying because we're not like professional,
Yeah.
journalists, but
We're not like
respect them.
investigative reporters, okay?
No, but like it really truly gives you respect for those kind of people, and for the fact that almost
Yeah.
anything you read nowadays you have to be able to like Google or at least look up and try and verify it so that you can be like,
Yeah,
this
it's
isn't total
impossible.
bullshit.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
has the time to fact
read-
check every headline they
No,
could
but
scroll past? It's so
at least
hard.
they should think before they like just repost. Of course you guys would never. We'll get off our soapbox. I hate it when podcasters do that when I'm like, yeah, obviously, fuck. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, so this one is the Peter the Peasant Vampire. So that you
Peter
might
the
come up
Peasant.
as.
Oh.
It's the peasant vampire of 1725.
Oh wow. Right
Oh,
around
yeah.
mine. Mine was 1727.
And
So-
I like again was like, this is crazy. I won't know
yeah.
how to pronounce this, and then didn't even try because I'm a basic stupid white bitch. It was like Blagojevic or something like that. That's his last name.
Sure. Cool.
Yeah, like Yankovic, but Blagojevic or Jovic. One of those. That's what it looks like. Oh damn, I forgot to say to Pat when I went downstairs that you were talking about freaking Serbia and Kosovo. Anyway,
Just knock it off.
Cat came back the very next play. Mine is also a Serbian man, and he was born in the late 1600s. We almost have an exact date, sometime around 1662, which is like pretty exact.
Okay. I had no
This far
idea for
back.
mine. There were literally, he came back from war in 1727. No other details. No other
Yeah.
information. Nothing.
This was in maybe one or two sources. Yeah. He did eventually have a wife and one son, and they were living in the village of, again with the modern / old names. It was either like Kiselova or Kiseljeho. No, it looks like Sarajevo, and I'm like, wait, how do you say the
Oh,
J?
no.
That's the thing. Do you pronounce the J
so
like a J?
bad.
Okay, but yeah, either way, it was like, this you got the modern equivalent name of the city or whatever. And he ended up dying in 1725, and he was in his early 60s. So we do know that.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, very sad. I think he was a family man. His family was mourning him and all that. Like, they loved him. But with this small town, within a very short period, the whole town seemed to be mourning some other loved ones because of all these sudden illnesses.
Yeah, damn.
So familiar now.
I'm having deja vu.
Totally. I was like, it's honestly, and yeah, even when you just look at some of the same ones in the same type of lists, I was like, oh, some of these are literally like the same
Yeah.
stories, basically.
Yeah.
Which is cool, though.
That's what I ran into when I ended up looking up the couple that because I told you I had saved 3. This was one of them, and then I did the.
Oh, I thought you meant like a couple, like
Oh no,
partners.
I did. I had saved 3 cases, and then
Mm.
I looked up all 3 of them again, trying to figure out which one I wanted to cover, and I was like, oh, the other 2, there's actually barely any information, even on a Wikipedia
Yes.
page. So I was like, oh,
Yes.
okay, no.
That's,
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Usually the case. And then you're like, all right, let's take the one I can expand on.
Yeah, exactly.
But I seriously kept thinking, oh shit, no, she didn't do the same case as me. No, it's just another Serbian guy.
No. What are the chances out of the entire world that we pick 1725 and 1727 in Serbia?
Well, I will say that for my listicle, when I first just jotted down the main names of the like 6 people, and then you confirmed which one you were doing, he was on my first listicle. Yeah, I was like, oh,
okay.
Yeah. I was like, I could have maybe looked more into that, but thankfully we've been pretty good about not doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of nice too. I don't mind it when both hosts have a take on something where you're like, you know.
Yeah.
Like brainstorming. No. Yeah, but this is very similar. Because in just over a week, 9 more people, other than Peter in this case, were dead in the village. I know, it's not as impressive as your number now.
No, but 9 in a week is a lot.
Yes, in one. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, hair in my boobs. Yes. And they all had something to say about Peter. They each fell ill about a day or so before their death from an unknown illness. Sorry. Just like they just didn't know a lot about disease in these days. It's not great. But
yeah. They died from not washing their hands.
That too. They couldn't figure. There was a little story, whether a more modern one, but we can't figure out why the babies and the mothers from this student hospital are faring better than the one from the doctor hospital, like just above it, like on the same campus, on the same like venue.
Aww.
And it turned out that like the midwives, nurse ladies downstairs, that group were just washing their hands beforehand. That was the difference. And that's why people didn't want to go to the upstairs hospital, because they didn't have as much of a chance as surviving. We didn't know. We just didn't understand.
That's crazy. Oh, I hate that.
It is crazy how like just our own ignorance just led to that stuff, and we just have to realize we're still fucking ignorant, you know? Sorry.
Right?
I know. Yeah, so this is also crazy. All had a strange story on their deathbed. They said Peter had appeared to them at night and throttled them in their sleep.
Oh no, not throttled again.
Yes!
What even is throttled? You're just like choking them? You're like,
I know, it gives me such a like
shaking them?
Strangling and shaking vibe. What is that?
Yeah.
It's so terrible.
That's gotta be what throttling somebody is, isn't it? Yeah, choking them and like shaking them.
Yes, but
Gordo,
it's the weird way it just kept
you're
coming
gonna
up
fall off the desk.
No.
Baby
An editor
boy.
wouldn't let it come up this many times in that many stories. They would be like, "You've overused it." It's like when you said something had thrust, and I was just like, "Oh my god, thrust!" And then we couldn't contain ourselves for a while. It's such a good verb. Is he really falling off again, this dumbass?
Almost. I caught him with my boob.
Nice.
I turned my chair and caught his little head with my boob. It's his pillow now.
That's all he wanted.
Yeah.
Yes. So in this case, Peter would appear to them at night and reportedly throttled them in their sleep.
You can't talk now. It's your turn.
Yeah, like in a dream, which I'm like makes me feel better that my bad dreams feel so tame, where I'm like, I'm usually late for work, and then I'm like, stupid fun fact, I usually can't like move my legs because they're in tight jeans, and I'm like, that's just your brain telling you you're almost lucid dreaming and you can't move out of the covers, you dumbass.
You
so like wake up.
Got my. Did you ever listen to that? I think it was Jimmy Fallon. I got my tight pants. I got my tight pants on. Everybody's wearing tight pants. I got my tight pants. He did a whole dance. J-Lo did one of them with him, and then Michelle Obama did one of them with him. Got my tight pants on. And then he had one with I think Will Ferrell. They're wearing tight white jeans. And then like
They're
striped
jeans
shirts
that
and
I
terrible
couldn't move
wigs.
in the dream.
Damn. What a dream. What a nightmare, really. Tight. My pants are too tight.
They're so pedantic. It's usually they're like you're late for work. It's like when you like dream about toilets and you wake up and you're like, I have to pee. It's just that stupid. Oh. Anyway, write to us. I heard another podcaster saying he had dreams about being late, and I was like, thank you. How lame are we? Okay. What did I say? Throttled them in their sleep? Is that what we're going to do?
Yeah.
Oh my god. He told them they would die next. It was all 7 days.
Yeah, ominous.
And like, yeah, basically within 1 day, they're like, okay, we did.
Gordo?
He also... Gordo, you did, bro.
I caught you midair, buddy. You got
Watch this fucking fat cat way. That was so heavy.
I think his feet got tangled up in the cords. That's why. It seemed worse than it was.
God, they're so awkward.
Baby. You can't do something like 7 times and think something different's gonna happen. If you've fallen off the desk 7 times, how's the 8th time gonna go?
Oh yeah. I was like, my dog does that. I'm like, you're a dumbass, and also you're too fucking big. Like, I can't support you when you go over the edge. Okay. He appeared to his wife also in her sleep, and he warned her what to look for in a corpse, so to speak, to check for the vampirism, that their hair and beard would grow, all of that. And then this was my favorite part. He asked her for his favorite shoes, with his opansy, the word for shoes, I guess. Give me my shoes.
I mean, I've heard the thing about they talk about the hair and the nails growing because your skin shrinks or whatever. So like your
yeah. He asked for his opansy, and stranger still, he visited his son, who then refused to give him food, so allegedly he bit him and drank his blood until he died.
Oh.
I know. That's the part of that one that I find the crazy violentest, because they were like, yeah, he came to visit his son, and like literally not in his dreams he died. I don't know.
Yeah, could they like see the bite mark or whatever?
That's what I don't know. Yeah, like, see, there's the kind of excerpts I was able to get from my little report. Peter, this is not the same last name, Plagojevic, came to them in his sleep and lay down on them and choked that they would now have to give up the ghost. Which is just a little bit flippant, don't you think?
Sounds like a sleep paralysis demon, like lying on your chest.
But like, I don't know if these were from the oldest report, but from the Serbian paper Glas Javnosti, Peter's widow, to whom he also came in a dream asking him to send him his slippers to the other world, send them on over, said that vampires are known for the fact that their bodies remain unchanged in the country, and their hair, beard, and nails grow, and that they get a new skin without anyone knowing where she got such knowledge from. After that, she fled from Kisiljevo, whatever it is. Oh, sorry. Kisiljevo sounded better. Sorry. So at this point, people are freaking out and they like want to help, and they are all scared. All the villagers, they want the authorities to step in and, if possible, dig up the body, you know, as they like to do in these cases, and make sure he's not displaying signs. So they have some officials come in. There's a local priest, and the assassination, the cameral provisor, Frombald. His name is Frombald. It's all very funny
From
sounding.
bald?
Yep.
Like bald and the from?
Yep, it made me think of the Handmaid's Tale and their weird names. Like, where I thought it was off Red at first, and then it turned out it was of Fred or whatever. And I was like, ew. But I think that's just his last name. I think I have his first name later. Oh, or sorry, one other source said, a letter is one of our only written accounts of this story, written by Imperial Provisor Ernst Frombald, an official with the Austrian government.
What
Ernst.
the worst name ever? Ernst Frombald. The fuck?
Frombald.
Ernst Frombald.
Pardon me. Hey. We can't all get great last names.
But a terrible first name too? Ernst.
It's like I was gonna make the case earlier, like in my head, I guess, that some of the bad names are the ones that are the male names adapted to the female, like Eugenia and like, I don't know, like Thomasina, like those type of ones. Like not the fun.
Thomasina.
Well, because there's nice ones like Francesca and like Alanna. I'm the female version of Alan, but I don't like hate it, you know?
Yeah.
I was, thinking over the merit of the turn this masculine sounding name feminine or whatever. It doesn't always work. Or you could
just use, like, I always liked Sam and Samantha.
Oh, yes.
Samuel, Sam, Samantha. Like,
yeah, it's almost like
nice. And,
like,
yeah.
Taking the female and make it sound a little bit more masculine, like calling a girl like Charlie as a nickname. It's like, I love that.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Yeah. Okay. So in this village, they had their own legends. They had the local legends that told of times during the Ottoman rule. I misspelled it. Ottoman rule. In the region, where entire villages had been wiped out from the sickness, and they believed it was supernatural. So, as they often did, they just dug them up and disinterred the body. Let's have a look. Let's have an examination. Peering into the coffin, they looked at Peter's body, and he did seem rather undecomposed, like quote unquote.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the same old. They thought his hair had grown, his nails looked longer, he had blood apparently in and around his mouth, and when they thrust a stake through his chest, hitting his heart, they hoped, then fresh blood poured from his mouth and ears. Allegedly. So, they burn his body to ashes, same old, and they believe this would lift the curse and scare away the vampire spirit and all that. And from Bald's report on the matter, which was one of the first documented testimonies of vampire beliefs in Eastern Europe, in it he begged his superiors to forgive his actions, saying how it was necessary to appease the town people. He was just a little weasel. No.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? We don't care. You did that to a corpse, whatever.
If the townspeople are the ones that are asking you to do that, then
yeah,
I don't think it's bad. I think it's worse when it's the other way around, when like officials are the ones asking you to do that to like somebody's family members, and the family members are opposed to it. But in this way, it's kind of the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. The families are the ones like, please do this. Investigate.
He's like, I helped some people, but I feel weird.
Look at this cat. Look at this shenanigans.
Huh? I was just saying, he never looks very upright. He was up, like,
come on, buddy.
on the window almost.
Exit the room. You're being so distracting. Come on, baby.
Wah, wah, wah.
Let's just leave the room.
It's rude. He's stealing the spotlight when I don't have very long to go. Yeah, bugger.
Just
Oh, and I just tried to think about how we can look back now and think about how different diseases could affect the lore.
yeah.
Yeah, we do know. That one that was like porphyria, or just different ones where like sunlight affects you, or different things that seem to
Oh, yeah,
exhibit the same traits as vampires.
I
It's
think I
like,
talked about that one.
I think so. Like I was like, I remember these names and stuff, and it made sense when they talked about some of the reasoning behind why these could have arisen. And sometimes with the burials of people, sometimes the business of burials was a good one and also booming. I mean, don't your parents always tell you to get into a recession-proof business? Like,
Yeah.
death, it never ends. You're like, thanks. Thanks, Pops
Yeah.
and Mom.
How's AI gonna take over embalming
No.
and planning or like hosting funerals?
My specific
Going
moment
out.
in time, I was like, I'm going to be a travel agent. They're like, it's going all online. Yeah, now it's like, everything's online and AI.
Right. Sorry, I thought he was like
Oh,
trying to
that's okay.
open the cupboard in the hallway. No, but he wasn't.
He's the the little furry feline toddler.
Oh yeah, can't leave him unattended. The other day I had a
Oops, sorry.
it was a water bottle, like it had a cover and stuff even.
Oh.
It just had like the straw though. And I went to the bathroom and all I hear is thud. And I barely get out of the bathroom and the water bottle is just pouring off the coffee table right onto the carpet. And I'm like, great.
Oh no.
Sakes, buddy. It was gone for 30 seconds.
Yep.
And you're just like, fuck this.
Damn it. Yeah, they really do get into everything, don't they? That's shitty.
It's like,
'Cause
oh
you
my
really-
god, buddy.
I know, it really makes you rethink everything you do before you go to like the bathroom. Yeah. I feel that pain.
One of the few times I don't take it with me. If I go to the bathroom, leave the room, anything, I take it with me.
Don't reach it.
So annoying.
They can get it. The cat came back. So other troubles with the burials did occur in the 17th century again, when, quote, sextons were forced to add another layer of burials to their graveyards. So rather than burying the deceased 6 feet under, they settled for 2, end quote.
Oh no.
This is overcrowding, of which I had never heard of, like this type. Yeah. You know, it's like crypts, catacombs. We all know that, you know, there was overcrowding at times,
Yeah.
but they were just pushing them down.
I mean, I ran across the thing saying in one place because of, is it permafrost where the ground is like frozen
yeah.
solid? There's certain
Right.
places where the ground never thaws, so like
Yeah.
people can't bury their dead there.
Oh, it's right. It's
And
would be
like,
tough.
damn,
Yeah.
like what do you do?
They come up with those like sky
Everybody
burials.
gets yeah, or everybody gets cremated. Like I don't know.
True. Which is just as efficient as anything else seems to be, cremation, but I don't know. Yeah. When they talked about a little bit in this one source how the disturbances where mass graves would get flooded or sometimes breached, meaning like they were like, oh, you know, just like wild wolf packs and stuff that would get into them. Okay.
Gross.
Yeah. Don't love that. And made me think I literally listened to a We're Here to Help episode where someone was like, We bought a house and it's great, but then my partner or my husband or whatever were like found, we found this like tombstone, and he also kind of wants to dig up to see if there's someone actually buried under there. And I'm like, I don't think you can do that. Like, this is not
Is it on the property?
on their property. Yeah, I believe it's in the States. It was
Oh,
interesting
weird.
as a problem. It's kind of like, they're like, was it like an upright gravestone? And he's like, oh yeah, it was upright. It was like leaning against a like stump or something. And I was like, what? Like, I don't know.
That's
I don't think
really
you just-
weird.
yeah, you can't just even dig to like plant a little something. You can't just go digging around, right? That's just
Yeah,
crazy.
like you got to find out where your water lines are and or
Yeah.
power or some stuff going on with the city. You got to make sure you don't hit any of that.
It's true, because like I was gonna plant this little seedling that turned out to not do anything, but like I was like, I looked it up.
Yeah.
Did my due diligence. So yeah, basically what you said, that they would see the dead looking weird, their skin shrinking and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
would give them that idea that they did not look decomposed. And specifically, they said undecayed revenants, which I was like, oh, I love that word. That came up in yours too, I think.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's the region, because they said they were told of as the Slavic vampire, or I don't know
Yeah.
if it's pronounced like up ear. It's spelled Upyr, and they said it was like an early vampire creature. So a variant, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Up ear, I don't know. To close it out quickly, no, but there was basically just a couple other ones mentioned. I thought this one sounded cool. That was called Dracula's Bride. Didn't go into detail, but
Oh.
this was apparently the case of Sarah Ellen Roberts. Did you come across that? Oh, sorry.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. It said she was accused of murder and witchcraft, and that they nailed her inside a lead coffin on June 9th, 1913. Which is not that long
That's
ago.
way too recent.
Right? I was like,
To
are
be
you...
nailing somebody inside of a metal coffin?
That made me go, wait, what? She was not allowed to be buried in her home country of England, and so for all that, she cursed the people who perpetrated this and vowed revenge in 80 years. So for all that we know, they looked at her gravesite 80 years later in 93, but nothing happened. So I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Do with that what you will. Another honorable mention to the Coventry Street vampire attacks. Another British one? Because that's... No, we weren't in Britain. We were in Serbia several times. Sorry. But no, this one. Yeah. April 1922. In London, a man is walking home early one morning from work when he feels a sharp pain in his neck. He has a puncture wound, like he was stabbed with something. He feels a force of some kind, and it left him drained of some blood and energy, and he woke up disoriented in Charing Cross Hospital. So, did you see that one on your, research at
No.
all? Oh, it came...
No,
yeah,
I
just came up,
had...
once. Sorry.
I don't even know if I have written down the other cases anymore, because there really wasn't a whole lot of information about them.
Yes, I could see that for sure. But that one made me think, where they said a puncture wound, like he was stabbed. I was after Pat was doing some of the mowing, lawn mowing and whatever, and then there was some weed whacking to the front of the house. I was like, oh, I'll go out. He's probably almost done. He's gonna go do the back or whatever, and I was just gonna go sweep off the walkway from the grass. But then as I go up to do there, he was still doing some weed whacking of some stuff that was weeds coming out of our driveway, and then I was like, zip, and I felt like I had a bite, and I thought, was that the ants? Because I was sweeping up the ant thing, or like I looked up to see if it was like hailing because it felt like a weird like sharp prick, and I looked over and I was like, it's because I'm standing too close where Pat's weed whacking, and he's like his debris is
Oh,
hitting my arm. And I was like,
that's
that
why I
felt
hate weed
so
whacking.
weird.
It gets everywhere.
It
It'll be
felt
like
like
on
it
my
was something stinging
glasses, in
me.
my hair. Yeah.
Yes, I have to like sweep off the side of the like house because it gets all up on the siding.
I hate it. When we do my yard, I am digging along the fence and just putting a little like trench, like just an inch away from the fence
Ooh,
so that I can just do it with a lawnmower. Like, no, it's gonna
ooh,
be done.
that's smart. I
Yeah,
know,
not very deep or
yeah.
anything, but just a little bit down so that like
Nothing comes
I
out.
want to be able to catch it with I can get almost all of it right now, but
Yeah.
um yeah, I just want to have
Ugh.
to not use weed whacker ever again.
Oh,
I hate
totally.
them.
Here we're
Yeah.
like Tupac over here. We're like, oh, driveway. We get stuff coming up between the cracks. Maybe we're growing a rose. I don't know. But well, yeah, that one I couldn't find too much more on, but there was a little bit about more that what happened in the Coventry Street attacks, if you will. It was on the night of the full moon in April 1922, and an enormous black bat-like creature with a 6-foot wingspan was reported flying around
Holy.
West Drayton Church in London. That was a little different. I liked that.
Yeah.
But that was the same month the man felt the puncture wound, so it was maybe connected, maybe not. Several people said they witnessed it dive down into the cemetery and prowl about the tombs. This is still a quote. 2 policemen gave it chase, causing it to emit a blood-curdling screech and fly away. An old man opined that the creature was the spirit of a vampire who, in the 1890s, had murdered a woman by drinking her blood. Or other sources will say it's the spirit of the woman who was murdered in the 1890s. Dun dun dun. That's what I found anyway. Later, on April 16th, around 6 a.m., a man walking down Coventry Street in London's West End felt himself seized by an invisible presence and bitten on the neck. He felt as though his blood were being sucked out, and he fell unconscious. When he awakened in Charing Cross Hospital, doctors said he appeared to have been stabbed with a thin tube.
Oh. A needle?
Maybe. Wasn't there one where a bunch of ladies kept getting stabbed and they stabbed back with their hat pins in early London? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Good on you. Those hat pins were pretty long sometimes. I've seen them.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to stab someone through their bustle and their petticoat into their ass, I'm going to stab you back. Oh, man. Maybe we'll have to cover that. 2.5 hours later, a second unconscious man was brought to the same hospital. He was bleeding heavily from the neck. When he regained consciousness, he was told of being attacked by an invisible presence while walking down Coventry Street, or he also told, rather. Later in the evening, a third victim with the same story and wounds was admitted to the hospital. All 3 said they'd been stabbed at exactly the same spot.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that was pretty much that on that one, other than like they hired someone to go stamp a potential vampire lying in Highgate Cemetery and Bobby's her uncle. Problem solved, and everyone forgets about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how else that resolved, but you're just like, all right, at least hopefully that was over.
It stopped. Yeah, it's weird.
Crazy, right? The bat-like creature really threw me. So
yeah, 6 feet wide.
Yeah, I always had
That's
a fondness
big.
for the man bat creature in Batman. He had wings. He was more bat than man. I don't know. We had the toy. We had the action figure. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Not next week, but next time for the Canada focused episode. Ooh, very special.
And we'll also have a Patreon episode.
True.
What did we choose our Patreon? I can't remember already. Did you write it down?
I did, but now I'm racking my brains. National Park Forest Crimes.
That's the one.
Yes.
That's the one.
We were like, it is summer. What scares you when you're camping?
People go camping, traveling. Yeah.
True. We will let you know when that's out. Watch us on our social medias. Go follow us on our Instagram. Like us on our Facebook and YouTube and Spotify. And also, we have a Reddit thread and a Patreon. I don't know if you guys know all that, but now you do.
The more you know.
Until next time, keep it cryptic.
Bye.
Sorry. Okay. She's getting on a phone. Camera phone. Alright. Sorry. Just asking Pat if he was bored because he's scrolling through the YouTubes. To run downstairs.
Alright.
I thought you put on this for a minute.
No, just lip tap.
I guess it was just because it was one of the tube ones. I was
like my Burt's Bees lip jab.
Oh, it's like me. The only time I put on like colored lip gloss or anything like that, weirdly, is like if I get too drunk at home and then I'm like, I'm gonna put some on and look in the mirror.
I'm so pretty.
And then I'm like, why do I do that? So stupid. Yeah. Easier to wipe off than your whole eyes. Like Taylor used to be like, I'd put on eye makeup for the day and then just wipe it all off. And I was like, ooh.
What?
Barely remember to wipe mine
my
off.
Skin would be
my
skin would be so red anytime I wipe off my makeup or anything. My skin is so sensitive, it go red.
Oh, tell me about it. That's funny.
Okay,
sorry.
So they Gordo.
I'm Alberto over here. It's okay.
He's just like on the chair now. Buddy, why don't you just exit the room?
This is the most energy you ever have, you little meerkat.
Right? Or sit on the chair nicely. Then I get kicked out if you start scratching that.
I know, I have a plug in my computer.
Chillax, bro.
Take a chill pill. Oh no, now I have to burp. Oh yeah. Sorry. Pardon me.